Welcome everyone to Loud and Proud Orlando. It's Monday, January the 16th, 8:38 p.m. Thank you so much for being live with us. We are again live here with Dave, with Paola, and also John joining us today. Thank you so much for being live on all our social media platforms. We are Loud and Proud Orlando, available on YouTube right now, live. Over 20 people live watching us right now. Drop us a like, a thumbs up. The more thumbs up we get, the more YouTube will recommend our video. Subscribe to the channel. We just reached the 500 mark on subscribers, so thank you so much for all your support. Um, double click on the notification bell so you get all notifications when we're live as well. Twitter, Facebook, and also Instagram as LPO_podcast. So thank you so much for being with us today as well. This episode will be available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts on the audio form. So thank you so much for your support. And again, I want to let you know, subscribe. That's the most important part. We want to get to the 1K mark so we can provide you with better content and maybe get more heads here in Loud and Proud. So thank you so much for all your support. For over a year now that we've been live. So thank you for all your support and all the likes and messages we get every week. We appreciate it wholeheartedly. So thank you so much. Before we start, let's do some comments. Daniel Phillips says, yes, we're winning the MLS Cup. There you go. That's the attitude. Banjo definitely have the depth in attack. Thank you so much, Banjo. Dave, how are you, my friend? Good, good night.
Doing fantastic. I'm glad to be here again. To everybody that messaged me because they missed us last week, thank you very much. Much appreciated. I was traveling. The reason why we didn't have a show, and tonight we're gonna be talking about some good information on Orlando City.
Paola, how are you today?
Doing fantastic. Happy Monday. We're back. Sorry for last week, but hey, less days to begin the MLS season. So I'm pumped and I'm looking forward for today's episode.
No, yeah, that's completely right. Definitely looking forward for that. John, welcome. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. How are you guys doing? I'm excited to be a part of the Orlando City conversation. Thanks for letting me join in.
No, fantastic. No, thank you for being here. So, the first thing that we want to talk about, we've had some new faces. Martin Ojeda from Godoy Cruz. It is a reality now. We also have a new striker, Ramiro Enrique from Banfield in Argentina. We also, preseason already started, and you saw Shaq Mohammed there. You saw also Maguire, Felipe also there, and we had new pieces added into Orlando City, depth wise. But my question is, is it enough, or do we need some more additions? Because I guess we have many tournaments coming up, and we want Orlando City to definitely do well in all of them, right? So, what are your thoughts regarding the new additions, John, when it comes to Enrique, Ojeda, all those players that I just mentioned?
I think, yeah, we've started on the right route, but there's definitely some positions that I'm still concerned about. I think Ojeda, the big question for me is he going to play, in that cam position behind the striker? Or is he going to play out on the wing? So definitely we got lots of depth in those three forward positions, the left wing, right wing, and the number 10 as you're showing on the screen. Where each one of those players play, that's the question that I'm not 100% on. And that kind of dictates for me then what other players we need to bring in. Maybe some of these guys on the wing are going to play as strikers. Enrique could be a guy who plays as a winger. So that's a question I think that needs to be answered in terms of the forwards. For me, the other big position that's not really been filled is that right back position that I think, Halliday, I would love to give him a start, but if it doesn't work out, who is coming in? We can't rely on Kyle Smith all season. Someone's got to come in there.
No, for sure. And this question that Daniel Phillips puts up, I'm gonna give it to Dave. How would you guys prioritize the different competitions? Right? I mean, it's a huge question. I mean, knowing the depth that we have right here on the screen, how do you prioritize the different competitions, Dave?
In a very short answer, last year we did just that. We went all in with Open Cup. We felt that we had it, and mission accomplished. Was it at the expense of making playoffs? Yeah, because I mean we barely made them. And if you remember, when we played against, we won the Open Cup, 2 days rest. We went down to Miami, got shellacked, and then we really, really, really had to win that last game at home against Columbus. So we force tournaments. If you ask me, my personal opinion, Open Cup, yes, let's go play for it, but we already won it. So, I would like to experience something new. The beauty of Leagues Cup is that we're gonna just concentrate on that. We don't have to play any other tournament at the same time simultaneously. CCL is coming right at the beginning. I would like for us to have a good showing, because if you can win that, you get to World Cup, Club World Cup. So that will be a great accomplishment for not only us, but for our league. And lastly, one of the things that a lot of fans are always saying is that they want to win MLS Cup because it's the one that gives you the start above the crest. You want that prestige, that flex. So we will have to see. People ask Oscar Pareja how the team is going to be looking in 2023. They ask him in the post training interviews, and several of you approach him after the friendly, the event that happened for the supporter groups on Sunday. And Oscar said that the team is going to look different, and that some players may be going back to natural positions or learning new skills. So that's where we are with it.
And Paula, knowing all the depth that we see here, again, the same question, right? I mean, do you feel we need some more additions coming up? Do you feel like, this is it? We can definitely work with this and handle all those tournaments?
I'm gonna agree with John. I feel that right back position needs somebody else for sure, 100%. Or I don't know if Oscar already said the team is gonna look differently. Probably there's another player that plays right back, and we don't know. So there's so many questions that we need to in Papi we trust this season. I don't see any other addition if the Enrique signing is true. I'm 100% in front of what is presented right now. But the right back for me since last season has been a little bit tough there. So that's my input there.
Sure. Let's read some comments here. It says Victor Sanchez. It says, hold on. Can we have Faku as a 10 this year? Sure. I think he can be a 10. But I'm gonna give you guys my idea here. I feel. I mean, Mohammed. He was a great college player, but he's a college player. So what I'm trying to say is not to downplay his ability. I'm just saying he's still a college player. My biggest thing that I can see in this depth chart, it's Cartagena is gonna have to step up tremendously. He's gonna have to do double duty, and he has not done that since 2017. Since he was in Argentina and since Peru qualified to the World Cup for the first time after 36 years. And I'm not trying to burst people's bubbles or anything, but I'm just trying to bring reality to the situation. I know I am Peruvian, but I'm not biased. I'm going to say it clear. Cartagena's performance has gone down. You've seen it when he came as a sub, and he's going to be vital to recoup the ball. Araujo won't be able to do the Naruto ninjutsu and go around and have three Araujos. He can't do it. He's going to need Cartagena there to do the up and down, his lane and do more of the motion and try to be that passer. And Cartagena hasn't done that in a while. I really hope from the bottom of my heart when he gets to start working out with the team, he can definitely adjust right away. because again, we're gonna put a huge backpack on Felipe, a player that yes, he's MLS ready, but we also don't know how he's gonna mesh. And I'm not gonna put any defending ability to Fabian Loyola because number one, he's 17, and number two, he's an attacking mid. So he's there to be Pereira's backup, in my opinion, if needed be. That's what he did on OCB. So I think the piece of the puzzle that we need to definitely look very deeply into is Araujo and Cartagena, that tandem right there, in the mid, because again, if you look at the back line, we have similar, very good faces. And again, the right back and left back positions are also, we don't know how they're going to be. I mean, we definitely we've seen Holiday, and we've seen Kyle Smith, but we don't know how Petraso or Santos will be able to perform too, right? So I don't know if you guys agree with that. What are your thoughts about that, John?
Yeah, I mean, I tend to agree on the whole. I think there is a lack of depth in that sort of midfield option. I think the other question is around Pereira, buying down his contract. So he's no longer a DP. Is that a sign that he's going to be happily a bench player and come off the bench? In which case, maybe Felipe is starting back there with Arujo and someone else is in that 10 position. I don't know. We might even go to a 4-3-3 and play two straight midfielders with a more holding defensive midfielder behind them in like a reverse triangle of what you were showing on the screen. So that for me depends on what Poppy is thinking, right? What does he want to do? But I think regardless, we need another midfielder in there who can do what I would call box to box. So they can go all
Yeah,
the way
box to
up and they
box.
can go all the way back.
Yeah, for sure. What about you, Dave?
No, and we're done on that one. Oscar has hinted that there's going to be changes, and finally the Wolves are letting loose on his investments. But when it's all said and done, we're going to be spending over $10 million in signings for the club, which again, for second year in a row, we break records. Before the Wolves bought the team, our biggest signing had been $3.5 million, and that was Josue Colman, which we all know didn't work out. So I definitely see maybe perhaps a change of formation. They have an idea of the style of football they want to play, and they're gonna go ahead and go after that. Obviously, the rumors are that within the next 2 weeks, our team is gonna take its final shape. So we'll have to see, what that's gonna look like, and finally, we're gonna be able to plug in some of these holes.
Right. So my question now is the rumors that are circulating, and I'll start with Paolo on this, with another player from Colombia, and to add in on what John was saying, more of a box to box player, to kind of, because Cartagena to me is, I mean, he is box to box, but again, he 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 outperformed himself, and he did really well in Argentina. Then he left for money to go to Saudi Arabia, so he hasn't done that position in a long time. In the Peruvian national team, he's third fiddle. They have Renato Tapia and Pedro Aquino playing. Tapia in Celta de Vigo, and we have Aquino playing in America, in Club America. So Cartagena is always benched. So I mean, he's called up, but he's always benched. So he doesn't get that he doesn't get those minutes that he wants in his national team. So um, this player that it's rumored for Orlando to be linked, Andres Colorado. He's a player that from Deportivo Cali. He's a box to box six midfielder, defending midfielder. Um, I don't know. What are your thoughts, Paola, regarding this player? Do you think he'll be a good signing? He's apparently being rumored to be linked with Orlando City.
I did a little bit of research on this player, and he also he's a center back. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind signing him, because like you were saying about Cartagena. We don't know, there is a question mark right now. There's a lot of questions, but a little bit of answers here. So I'm up for it. If we have the cap and we have international spot that we acquired recently won, let's go for it, right? There's a lot of tournaments. Legs could be down in the middle of the season, and we need as many points as possible in the MLS if we want to be in the postseason in the playoffs. So I'm up for it. If Araujo cannot be stand alone, I don't know if Felipe is going to be 100%. So, like I said, there's so many questions, little bit of answers, but I'm 100% upfront for this player.
Now, low risk, high reward. That's, I think, the way Orlando City is going, which I agree wholeheartedly, because it's playing. It's not just grabbing a bunch of cash and just dumping it, and just expecting things to work out. I mean, this is a very good thought process going through. And again, this is a 24-year-old player, almost 7 feet tall. He's very tall, right-footed, and he can play not only center back, he can play the 6, he can also play the 8, so he can play 3 positions. So, John, what are your thoughts regarding this potential signing?
I mean, I totally agree with Paula. I think he's, potentially a center back for us, and that's something where I would also like to see us bring in a little bit more depth. I think we've seen the last few seasons that both Schlegel and I'm sorry, not Schlegel, Janssen and Roberto Carlos, and even Schlegel at times get a lot of injuries. And I think that we need someone else who's a top quality MLS level center back, who's the standard of those first 2 guys on the roster, to be able to step in when that happens. So maybe that's what he's got, that depth, and he can play defensive midfield. I think it's, a no-brainer. I don't see any downside in signing this guy. Obviously, he can play, he can defend, he's big. And definitely, I agree that sign someone like this, bring them in. Maybe they're good enough to go to Europe. You make some money off the back of it as well.
Dave, I know you have some info regarding this player as well. What are your thoughts, regarding Andres Colorado?
Absolutely. Just like Paula said, he's a defensive mid. He's 6'4". So obviously a guy that it's gonna win a lot of aerial duels. One of the things that we spoke, at least I don't know if you guys remember, one of the first shows that we did last year, we were talking about how our team had lost height, and we no longer were a threat on corner kicks, set pieces in general, and we were missing that finesse in the air, and obviously this player brings that. Andres Colorado comes from a region that is just basically a basket case of footballers. That's the Colombian Pacific Coast, and we have players from there before. Andres Perea came from that region. The infamous Carlos Rivas. Cristian Higuita, the beloved player, Cristian Higuita. So we had a lot of players come from that region of Colombia, and these guys are quality. This guy has been on loan to Sao Paulo in Brazil, and we have been talking about how the economical situation in South America is right now, and a lot of players wanting to come to the United States for the security of the fact that they're going to get paid in dollars. And the league is gaining a lot of popularity as a place where you can come and you can go to Europe, or at the very least, you can have a secure paycheck. So hopefully he will come through for us. I tweeted that Ricardo Moreira was not done. Some of you talked to him on yesterday, and that was reaffirmed. There's still moves that to be made. Don't know how those moves are going to look like. But again, these players that we're mentioning, they bring a lot of noise, and hopefully they will come through for us.
I want to say this. It would be fantastic if, I know there's signings to be left. That is true. And I would love to see. It's, again, I don't want to sound like I'm very negative, but I think we need somebody that is able to still be that presence on the right back position. I think on the left side, Kyle Smith could be that person who shows the ropes. I mean, he's been in the club for so long already. He knows the process. He knows how Oscar works. He knows the fans. And I think Santos and Petrasso, I mean, can definitely adapt. But on the right, Ruan is gone, and I mean, Holiday is a fantastic right back. Same with Kyle Smith can also play that, but also Freeman, he's a fantastic player, no doubt. But you're talking about playing four tournaments, and you wanting to at least aspire to win some sort of silverware. And I think there's a player, in my opinion, that's available right now that its age, but I think his quality is undoubtedly phenomenal, and that is Juan Cuadrado from Juventus. Now, what would a signing like Juan Cuadrado would do in Orlando? Now you're probably thinking, what is he smoking, right? No, I mean he's available. Now, what would he bring? He'll be a mentor for that back line. So you have now Galese, vocal. You got Antonio Carlos, a vocal player. Schlegel, a vocal player. You got Jensen, a vocal player. And now you have adding Juan Cuadrado, a player that has gone to World Cups, has won things with Juventus. Why not? Those kids that we have there on the right and on the left, that will benefit by all his experience that he has had through the years. And it'll be, I think, a great addition. Plus, huge Colombian community. I mean, you're talking about his jersey will sell like hotcakes. I mean, it's a no-brainer marketing wise. And if he comes at a right price, I don't think why not, right? And he's still fit. I mean, he's still fit. So maybe some TAM, I don't know, but I mean, he's still fit. That's just my opinion, and I know that I just smoked I just probably totally threw a curveball there, but I mean, that's what I would love to see, right? I mean, personally, it'll be fantastic because he's still available in the market. Victor Jose Sanchez says, "Yes, with Cuadrado. Yes, with Cuadrado. I agree with you. Thank you so much." NJ Thompson, he says, "Has Enrique been announced by the club yet?" I believe he has not yet. So, Jared Quackenbush, how you doing, sir? Who are the 3DPs now? Who are the 3DPs now, Dave? I think it's Pedro.
It's
Pedro's not.
no,
No,
it's
Hala.
Jesus, the guy
Pereira.
that we just signed from Argentina,
Martin Ojeda.
Yeah, Martino
Martino
Ojeda,
Ojeda,
Faku, and Mauricio, I
Facu.
think.
No,
And
Mauricio
and
has
Kara.
been brought down
Kara's
with
the other
Tampa.
one.
Urgent.
Kara, yeah,
Ersan
Kara.
Kara.
yep,
Yep. And Faku. There you go.
correct.
That's right. Joshua Tall says we probably need to ride back and agree with you, Lewis. Thank you so much. Hi, friends. Always, thanks always for a great podcast. Vamos Orlando. How you doing? Thank you, sir. Babaos, Andres out and Andres in. Do you guys think Pereira will be staying as a captain? Says Banjo. I believe so. I don't
Yeah,
know. What are your thoughts there, guys?
yeah. When it comes to the captain, definitely Mauricio has four things going for himself. He's one of the oldest players with the most experience. He speaks English very well, which you will notice this year that our team's language is heavy, heavy, heavy Spanish this time around. And the other thing is he has the respects of everybody. Plus, he has been around for going on his fifth season, and he has been around also with the same coaching staff. So those are key parts. I don't see him sitting on the bench as a permanent solution for him. He's still the captain, and also Oscar Pareja has a lot of trust in him.
He's still the captain for you, John. I think he is, right?
I mean, yeah, I think spiritually he's the captain. Like I said, I'm not sure how much he's going to play as much this year. And so there's always that question, like, should your captain be one of the best
Right.
players on the team, or should he be the guy who leads the locker room, right? So I think, the manager usually knows what's best. And also sometimes you don't want to rock the boat. So if he's doing a good job as captain, keep him as captain. He's obviously accepting the fact that he's going to play less of a role this year
Right.
by just taking that, no longer having a DP contract.
Yeah, sure. And we'll leave some comments here. And EJ Thompson, I don't see Pereira going to the 10. The team played better when he was a deeper and freed up Torres on the right. I I reckon Ojeda probably fills the 10. Thank you so much, sir. Joshua Tall, that would be interesting if we were interested in that right back you said. Yeah, I mean it'll be fantastic. I think it'll be a win-win. I mean, I know it's not the type of signing Orlando City is doing right now, but I mean I think over over just signing some. I mean, we already have a lot of depth when it comes to age in those areas, both left and right back. We need to balance it a little bit. We need to add a little bit of experience right there, because if we just become a under 23 squad, you know what I mean? It will be OCB, right? And you're gonna be battling strikers like Guignac, like Thauvin, ex OM. You're gonna be, and you're gonna be. I'm saying not to knock these kids down, but do we know if Freeman has the potential to, stop Thauvin when he goes on transition? Like, you need sometimes that experience mentality. So if you bring a mentor down, I mean, because I mean, Gales is busy being the keeper and trying to set up the back line with the center backs, and you have Antonio Carlos. Maybe if is playing with Taylor, hey Taylor, stand up right here. Like let me go forward. Who takes care of the right and the left, right? So that's another piece of the puzzle that I feel experience wise could definitely be a mentor for the locker room too, of because of what he's experiencing in the soccer world, right? So um let's see, we have one more comment here. Geez, we really need a ride back. It says SA. Thank you so much. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the signing of Martin Ojeda, right? He already started, and there's a beautiful picture right there. Thank you to Orlando City Communications. I know Rob. I want to say hello to my friend Rob Hildreth. He's definitely going to have quite a lot of work this year because of the translations and all that stuff. So I want to say hello if he's watching. Definitely a good signing. He was definitely being linked with a lot of teams in Brazil, a lot of teams in Europe, and he decided to come to the MLS. What are your reasons? Do you believe he took that route, John? Do you believe that it is because the league is improving every year, every season, or you feel it's more money or
Yeah, I
glory?
mean, I think for him, he's in his prime. He's 24, which is like prime age to make a move out of South America, and then he's looking at his options. And a lot of guys, it's maybe a lower championship team or like a French team or an Italian team, and MLS is becoming more and more of an option. I think what you spoke to earlier about the South American markets wanting the dollar, and that's another factor here and why he wanted to come to what is a very stable club. Like the MLS is viewed as a stable league, and obviously Orlando City has a history with South American players, developing them, and then some of them even moving on to bigger and better things. So I think from his perspective, this was always an option as a market he wanted to come to. And I think from our perspective, it was, let's definitely bring in a guy who can be a game changer for us. Someone like last season, we just have Torres who can really change the game on a dime at any moment. This is another guy who can literally just turn it on, dribble past somebody, make that pass, or make an incredible shot. Those moments of brilliance that every team needs.
No, and that is true. And this is a player that, again, he was ready to, you know, uh, he was being looked by Spanish clubs and other clubs, and it surprised a lot of people in Argentina. We're very surprised regarding his signing, especially being Orlando City. They were surprised that also Gaston Gonzalez signed with Orlando City at some point. And these were two players that killed it in the Argentinian Superliga. That like they were the best at their positions, and Orlando got two of those guys, one from 2021 and one 2022. So, Paola, what are your expectations when it comes to Martin being signed to Orlando City?
A lot of goals, right? He comes in a position right now that he was scoring a lot in Argentina, and he said it in one of his interviews that he has improved. He was not scoring a lot of goals prior to last season, but he has improved a lot. And the fact that Gaston is here, he played with Wilder at some point in Godoy Cruz, that's his previous club, and Schlegel. They played together, and even he said that he forgot that he was in the same game that he first started with Racing back in Argentina, and I think that's super impactful on his this season for him, right? Because he doesn't feel alone. There's more people behind him, and those were one of the reasons too he came here. He had a lot of offers, like you said, Luis, but he was like, "Nope, I'm going to Orlando City. They're trying to sign me since 2021, and I'm expecting from him a lot of depth in the front, helping Urshan getting those goals in the back of the net, and also Gaston. So I'm really pumped for this player."
Definitely. So I know that you broke the news there, Dave. You know, you and Cesar Luis Merlo. What are your expectations for Martin Ojeda? He could play several positions down in attack. I know that the wings are going to be our forte, as they say, right, Dave?
No, absolutely. And just to build on what Paula said, I mean, the guy is a family man. He's celebrating his first wedding anniversary this week. If you follow him on Instagram, you see that the guy is at home with friends from back in Argentina. Tonga Gonzalez, Schlegel, who, by the way, congratulations to the legendary Rodrigo Schlegel, who's expecting a baby girl in the
Oh
summer.
wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, so that's great news, and also he knew Cartagena, so he said that the decision to come here was basically they make him feel wanted, and that's what he wanted to do, and to build back on what we have hammered over and over and over: the security of our league, the strength of the currency that he's going to be getting paid in is what won him over. He could have gone to Europe, maybe to sit on the bench. Here, he's promised a starting role. And Luis, we have spoken about this before. What Latin American kid does not want to come to live in the United States? I mean, it's just a given.
No, that's right. And we have footage here. Thank you to Orlando City Communications for allowing us to play this footage here. It's obviously the signing of his contract here with to me the two guys who are transforming this club. Have mad respect for both of them, Luis Musi and Ricardo Moreira. So let's just watch. Obviously, some of it doesn't have sound, so just bear with it. But there you go. He's just signing and taking pictures. His agent. There you go. That's Rob right there. How you doing, Rob? Going to Orlando's taking a pitch. Man, the field looks beautiful.
I was gonna say that, Luis. I'm like, what a turf
Yeah,
right there.
like the supporters who play that are definitely jealous of that.
All right, guys, everyone look right here.
You think that's a big jump up in the quality of field that he would be used to? Or is that just kind of standard that you would expect in the league that he's been playing in?
Yeah, I mean, I just think that Godoy. Godoy Cruz has the crowd, obviously, more of a history, but definitely infrastructure in South America. It has been going down, even in Argentina. That it's soccer is like a religion there. It's
I'm
been
not
going
gonna
down the last
say
few
it.
years. Yeah,
I'm not gonna say it, Luis, but the people who watch us, who are journalists in South America, have told me, and I know from family members of players and all that, that there's no comparison. I mean, our pitches are a league, are head and shoulders above what you can see in some of these leagues.
yeah, definitely. There you go. It's a little bit of the session, and then there's an interview here that
Martin, first, welcome to Orlando. We're sure you had
He
fun.
just talks about being in Orlando and all of that. I mean, if I play it, it'll be like 5 minutes of our show. But definitely we're definitely happy to see Martin here in Orlando. Definitely, it's going to be a great signing. I think he's going to take a lot of names. Maybe that's what Facundo Torres needs. Now, a lot of people are saying that this is a Facundo Torres replacement, right? And this is the rumor that it's brewing. And I want to ask Dave, I mean, are we supposed to definitely, are those rumors correct? I mean, I have here the post from a Uruguayan source, and I'm gonna let's see if I could go ahead and translate. It says, in case Arsenal could not finish the signing of Mudryk, the Ukrainian from Shakhtar, the doors become open for Facundo Torres. In the last few months, Arsenal, the English club, has um, thrown offers and try to talk to his agent for the Orlando City player that is worth $20 million. That's what it says here in the Uruguayan media. Now, I did my research as well, and the brewing rumor is that that is true. In Uruguay, they're saying that he's going to definitely go into and play for in the English Premier League. But then we see a Facundo Torres wearing, doing this. So where are we? Where are we? What are we doing? What is he doing, Dave? Do you know? Am I supposed to eat that rumor, or what am I supposed to do with it?
No, definitely has legs. Facundo's parents went back to Uruguay, back to their lives. They're no longer here in Orlando. I have a lot of friends that are Arsenal fans in England. As you guys know, the club that I follow, Stevenage, is only 30 miles away from North London. And also our good friend Taylor Williams, Orlando City, UK, is Arsenal fan, and he has heard it from people that he feel are trustworthy. When Facundo was asked about the rumor, he said, "All I know is that my people talk to their people, and it's my dream to play in Europe, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. Right now, my focus is Orlando City, so we will see." If Arsenal can drop $20 million on this player, great for us. Do I want to see him go? Absolutely not. So we're gonna leave it at that, my friends. This is the risk that you have when you have a great player like this young man who gifted us a trophy in Orlando, and also a guy that impressed the English media when we had that friendly. And to be quite honest with you, if you don't want somebody to poach your players, don't invite the fucks into the hen house. That's what we did. We let them in. All the focus was on our players, and Facundo had a spectacular night that night.
What are your thoughts there, John, regarding Facundo potentially leaving the club?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll play devil's advocate and say the other way. Obviously, Luis, I mean, sorry, David knows some things that I don't, but I think the other side is it's only been a year here, so maybe he thinks I'm not done in Orlando. I've got more I can do with this club before I leave. The other thing, and these are like my hopes and dreams, because I really don't want him to go yet. I think he's not done.
Yeah.
But the other thing that's in his favor, I think, to stay maybe is that if he went to Arsenal, he's probably going to be a fringe player. Like he's not going to be getting in the first starting 11 at Arsenal. Now, if I'm a player and I think logically he's actually going to develop more playing with Orlando City for another year and then sell for even more money and make more money next, in the summer or next January. Whether he thinks like that, I don't know. He might just say, I want to go to Europe. Let me go to Arsenal. Even if I don't play, I want to go to Arsenal. Then 100% he's going to go. We're not going to stop him. We'll take the 20 million. It depends whether his agent or his mentality is of the let me stay and get a bit better, and then I'll go for an even bigger move, or I want to go now because I fear I might not get another opportunity. But either way, I will be heartbroken if he goes.
Yeah, I think he wants to follow the steps the guy who's killing it with the Newcastle right now. He put,
Almiro?
Martino.
yeah, he wants to mimic that. I think that's what his agent is pointing out. Now, personally, like I agree with John wholeheartedly. I think he needs to stay in Orlando one more season, be the face of the franchise. That's why we pay 13 million for him, and then once he proves himself a little more, then go and fly away, right?
He's
Uh,
young. He's
young
young.
Padawan,
Yeah.
young
So,
Padawan. What are your thoughts there, Paola?
I
Arsenal.
mean, if he goes, he goes. I will be heartbroken as every single fan because if his dream is go to Europe, fine. But I would like, as a fan, stay here for another year, be the star, be the young DP that you are right now, get us another trophy, a cup, and then bye. Your job has been done, Padawan. But anyways, if it's now, it's now. If it's not right now in this transfer window, it's gonna be in the summer again. This rumor, because since that friendly and he scored that goal, has been, oh, Facundo Arsenal. I'm like, come on, are you gonna leave or not? But at the same time, I'm with you, Luis. He just went to the media conference of MLS the other day, and if you're gonna lose a player, how you're gonna send a player that you're gonna lose soon? I don't know. That's my train of thought. But if he goes, I will be happy for him. He already won us a cup, and it's his dream. So let's see what happens.
For sure. Let's read some comments here. Etromic, he says, the max we can hang on to players like him, like DK, likely 2 years, if that. Correct. Joshua Tall, yes, stay another season, please, Torres. Victor Jose Sanchez, same way, sending Faku to Uruguayan national team and not play in the World Cup. I mean, that is Diego Alonso's fault. I mean, this is a guy who destroyed the end of the careers of Cavani and Luis Suarez. And I'm gonna say this. I don't care. I mean, he blew it. Uruguay had everything to make it through, and I mean, he just didn't have any response. He choked, and he brought the whole team with him. It was despicable what he did the first two games of Uruguay. Joshua Tall, shaking my head. We shouldn't be engaging with Arsenal and shouldn't have talked to them. There you go. As I know OCSC fences USL, I can't wait for OCSC to win the MLS championship. Same here. Victor Jose Sanchez, Jim D. I bet you I could almost run from one goal to the other. Almost, says Jim D. Thank you so much. Daniel Phillips, the team chemistry appears to be incredible for what the club shares publicly. That's correct. Marco Antonio, Ladre el Fútbol, says, ¿Cómo está Pinedita? Dejando mi like. Says, leaving my thumbs up. Thank you so much, Marco Antonio. Victor Jose Sanchez, can you show us your 2023 prediction lineup? We'll do that at the end, Victor. We'll do that at the end. But talking about this picture right here with Facundo Torres at the media, MLS Media Day. Foodie Headlines, which is a oh, what am I doing right here? Foodie Headlines, which is a website that leaks and gets the leaks for all the kits, not only in the MLS but worldwide. Just released this for Orlando City that apparently this will be the kit for the 2023 season for Orlando City, even with Apple TV right there on the on your arm right there, right? With the new Adidas logo, the three stripes. I mean, it reminiscence to the what was the latest kit? The one that had the gold, the one that Dom Dwyer wore too, and Yotun. I remember. I think it was 20. Was it
2016,
2017.
2017. There you
Yeah,
go.
2017 kit.
2017, yeah.
It's just without the collar, right? I think it's nice. I think it's pretty. I think it's a nice it's a nice kit. I mean, Orlando can do so much with purple, right? But I'm gonna say this, and I hope the club is listening at some point. We need to go back. We need to go back. I think the fans want to go back. I would like to go back. I would like to see a retro kit, something that had the red, the old red for Orlando City, the
Or that stripe on
some
the right
purple,
hand.
yeah, some purple. You know what I mean? I'm not saying replicate the Lotto kit. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying the retro style. I mean, I think it would sell like it will sell like hotcakes instead of there was some weird jerseys. I mean, I'm not trying to knock down Adidas is my favorite brand and all of that, but I mean the water one that had like the orange three stripes, and that's like, come on, man. And then so you can buy it in Fanatics for $39 4 months later. Like to me, it will bring more value a jersey that not only supporters that have been since day one that have supported this organization since when they came being the Aztecs and they changed their name to Orlando City, they would appreciate. Bring back the red, bring back the purple, the hint of purple. I think it'll be fantastic. I don't know what are your thoughts there, John, regarding the jersey.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. That's something that I've mentioned to the staff members that I know that will work in merchandising many a time, that they need to bring back the retro stuff and how well it would sell. And so many of the stories that you have from Orlando City are organic things, like the story of the Manatee shirt that still
Yeah.
to this day sells a crazy amount. So really, the history and people who are OG fans want to wear that history. So if you sell an OG kit, they'll buy it 100%. But for this year's, I think that's solid. I mean, purple is our color. Don't mess with it too much. I really love the more gold than
Yeah,
white.
I like
So
it.
I think this is a easy home run. A little bit safe, but it'll sell well.
Like it reminds me of the Chelsea kit when they again, remember the Chelsea kit when they won was it 20 man, I forgot. I think it was 2012 when it was Fernando Torres beat Barcelona with that in that one-on-one. I remember that. It had the gold and it had the blue. I think it's a great kit. What are your thoughts there, Paola? This potential leak.
I mean, I like it. I'm not gonna say no to it.
I'll buy it. I'll buy it.
I'm not gonna buy it because I have a lot of kids. Probably Alec will buy this one. He's like, oh, I need a new purple. He's making an excuse, but I won't hold him back. But I like your idea of going back retro, and I don't know if this is a MLS league kind of situation, but the NBA is doing it. They're doing a retro one night. It's just one night. Go back with that red to see them play with that retro. That's gonna be awesome. I'm not gonna buy this kit probably. If you see me at the stadium buying this kit for me, just stop me. Like, hey, no, Paula, you have a lot of jerseys already. So
You have more
um,
jerseys and shirts, apparently.
ex-
That's what I
ex-
heard.
yeah, yeah, for sure. But I like it. I like it, and I like the gold. Right. So let's see if this is it. Probably it is.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm gonna say this, like I was telling everybody, and I'll say it to Dave. I mean, you've been there since day one, Dave. And just like me and John, it'll be fantastic to see. I mean, it doesn't have to be the Loto kit, but some sort of adaptation of the red with the purple. And I know those colors maybe clash, right? But I think it'll give it a more of a retro look, and I think it could happen. I know it could happen, and just to add a little bit, cherry on the cake, you have the Orlando City badge up front, and then in the back, when you go inside the jersey, you have the retro patch of the old logo. Now I know that probably that's taking it too far, branding wise, but I mean, fans will go crazy. I don't know what are your thoughts about that, Dave, regarding the kit.
Well, if you follow me on social media, you know I go crazy when my Israeli and English team come with kids. Sometimes kids become beyond legendary. It's just part of the history of the club. And a 2 second story. My team Stevenage was playing in the FA Cup against Aston Villa, and because our purple away, which the team pick purple to honor yours truly. Thank you very much, Steven. And the home jersey, which is a retro version of a 1990s kid, clashed with Aston Villa, so they decided to go with a white and blue kid. Uh, and they knocked out Aston Villa coming from behind in the FA Cup. Go Borough! And now that kid became iconic. He sold in 3 minutes the following day, and the team was forced to have to go and print more. I know our good friend Taylor Williams from Orlando City, UK, got his hands on that kid because he's also from Stevenage. And my friends, that's what it takes. If you ask John, you ask Luis about that red kid in 2011, it just brings happy
Yeah,
memories.
I mean,
Happy
you're talking
memories.
about. I mean, it was fun. Those times. I mean,
Oh, forget
it
it.
was a small club, but I mean, it was just I don't know. I mean, it was just everything worked. Like everything was just so organic, and it just brings a smile to your face, and just like I remember, like I have in my house, and one day I'll do a video about it. I have like over 30, 40 cups, different colors for the ESPN World Sports. Like, cause I used to buy the beers, you know. Like I have like, my wife is like, "What are you doing?" It's like, "Yeah, when you give them away," I'm like, "Do not look at, you give away all the cups you have. Just don't give away those cups. I don't care. We'll keep them." Yeah, I'm serious. Like I have like 30, 35 of them. Like I mean, those times were fantastic. I mean, and I think fans would definitely, and not only that, but the young cats, right? The kids that didn't live that era, will understand that this is not it's a club that was built, that has a culture.
It's
It,
history.
it's not like, and I'm not trying to knock on other teams, but a team from New York up there that looks at Manchester City, right? That you know what I mean? That plays in a baseball field sometimes, and sometimes shares his stadium with the Red Bulls, and I'm saying like this is a club that has gone through a lot of changes to get to where they are right now. So what a way to honor it and honor the history to do the retro kid, right? So I'm gonna read some comments and then we'll go to the next topic real quick. Mateo Tirado Rojas from Ladre el Fútbol says, greetings to the team de Binacional of the MLS. Arriba Alianza. Okay, so he's just playing a prank because Binacional is a mid-table club in Peru, so they're calling us mid-table club. Thank you, sir. Jim D. I do like that one that has the old school badge on the inside of the jersey. Maybe it was our first MLS kit. There you go. Yep. Victor Jose Sanchez USL jersey for sure. Maybe our third kit can be a throwback, Etromic. I think that'll be fantastic. I mean, I know that they're doing, like Save the Whales kit, and they're doing the, they have, and that's fantastic. And I'm not knocking it down at all. I just think it would be fantastic for the fans to experience that, right? Or maybe do for Society 21 members or the season pass holders have that perk of a special edition jersey that no one else has. It will give it more of like oh crap, like this is a $80 jersey, $90
Yeah,
jersey
yeah.
that
And Luis, about that, there's teams in MLS that have done that. They issue the gift for the system ticket members is a jersey that nobody else has. And to go back to Stevenage, I apologize because I always go back to what I know works. Last year they released a jersey only for the system ticket members with all the names of the system ticket members in the jersey. And my friend Kevin from Orlando City, UK, who is also a Stevenage fan, got me that jersey. He actually gave me his and got the whole team to sign it. And it's a precious possession for me. So, my friends, Luis, if everybody marketing that is listening to us, Luis is just giving you step by step how to take our money.
Free stuff.
How to
Free
take our
stuff.
money.
yeah, I will buy it too. Like I'm serious because I mean, again, I love the way the club is doing right now, and it's fantastic. First cup in the MLS history. The U.S. Open Cup, first major championship for the city of Orlando. It's not just any championship. The Magic has not been able to do that. Only Orlando City. So Orlando City is definitely the face of the city right now, when it comes to sports. Um, and it's something to be proud of, and also reward the fans that have been there since day one. I think that'll be fantastic. But going through, changing some topics real quick, we'll read some comments. Is yeah, let's go back retro. Pavao says, I think it was just a prediction for the kid, but it looks clean. It says, do you think we should pursue Callens? For sure. I agree. But I mean, I think it's too late. I heard that he's being linked to Boca Juniors. He's preferring to go back to Argentina because of glory. I don't know. If it would have been me, I would have stayed in the MLS. But then again, it's his decision. Let's see here. Hey, brother. Sorry, Atlético Nacional beat Alianza Lima yesterday. I know it was. Yeah, we had a whole show about that yesterday. I was like definitely not in a good mood. But it happens. The season just started. It's preseason game. But anyways, talking about another signing, Orlando City, according to Tom Bogert, nice stash, Tom. I always wanted to say that. Now that I get the chance to say it. Orlando City finalized the acquisition of Argentinian attacker Ramiro Enrique from Banfield, $2 million plus add-ons. Enrique, 21, will be a U22 initiative signing. Can play center forward and on the wing. He had 4,000 first team minutes, so he was a starter in Banfield. Definitely a kid that, again, low risk, high reward player. A lot of promise. What are your first expectations for this signing, John? Do you think that he needs to make an immediate impact, jumping on the pitch, or do you think this is going to be more of a relying the duties of Virgin a little bit?
I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I think that Kara needs another year. I mean, it's hard to come in and be straight out of the gate 20 goal a year striker. He's got 10 goals, last season, I think. So that's pretty solid start. But is he going to step up and be even better this year? With bringing in Ramiro, it kind of gives you a safety blanket, somebody who you think is going to also potentially be a 10, 20 goal a season striker, to really push him and say, hey, Ershun, if you're not performing, this guy is going to step in and take your spot. And in some ways, you need that competition. I do think Kara will still be the first name on the sheet most weeks. And I think this guy will be coming off the bench, getting those 30 minutes for the first part of the season, and then we'll kind of see, okay, is this guy good enough to start games? But I think, $2 million for a 21-year-old who's got a lot of potential, I don't see the downside, as long as he actually will be able to play in the MLS. I think that's sometimes we get signings in and they don't work out, right? So if this guy is good enough to play in the MLS, I think it's a really, really good signing.
He has 12 goals in all competitions last year. He no, between 2021 and 2022 season, 12 goals in all competitions, 3 assists, 73 games that he's played so far for Banfield. Definitely 21 years old, from Argentina, center forward, could play both wings and being a center forward. What are your thoughts and your expectations for this signing, Paola?
He will come out of that bench hungry, trying to get those goals in the net. That's my prediction. Like John said, probably he will be the Ershun Kara sub, play 30 minutes each game. We don't know. Like I said in the beginning of the show, many questions, little answers. He's super fast too. So the fact that he can play the wings, even though that we have a lot of people in the wings, but we are playing a lot of tournaments. So I'm super pumped. I want to see him. I saw a little bit of the highlights of him playing in Argentina. And he's the type of player of when the ball is crossing, he's there to put the ball into the net. So that's what we needed. This past season, we lacked of it. There was a lot of crossing and nobody was behind and to put that ball in the net. So this player can do it and close the game for us. So let's see. I don't know if he's taking an international spot or because he's taking or not because he's a U22 initiative. I don't know how that works. Clarify that for me, Luis.
Dave, you want to clarify that?
Or David.
There you go.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, even if it's a U22 initiative, most likely he's gonna need an international spot.
Gotcha.
We traded Portland. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep, we
But
gave
yeah,
200K.
so
Mm-hmm.
that could be the spot that we need. When Juan left, he left one open. Pato left on another one open.
Urso.
So Urso, yeah, exactly. And one of the things, and I asked Ricardo Moreira this a long time ago. The difference between players that will take a green card versus players that will remain international is up to the player. Sometimes getting a green card means you pay taxes to the United States and also some other responsibilities. And sometimes it is counterproductive to the players because perhaps where they come from, the country they come from, the taxes are lower, so they will rather stay international. So that's what's going on. When it comes to this player, I just want to acknowledge at Gibi Waza. This is a fellow Orlando City fan that is always looking into the obscure things. There's confirmation from several different sources that this guy is coming to Orlando. Ramiro Enrique, his dad, played with Argentina in the 1986 World Cup. It's Hector Enrique. So he comes from that type of. He comes from football royalty in Argentina. 21 years old, 5'7", a forward, scrappy. He reminds me of 2013 young Dumb Dwyer, and
Don't mention that name, sir. Come
I know,
on.
I hear you. I hear
Like
you. I
Vito.
don't know people
There's a website too that mentioning. Maybe we should. It would be a good idea to
No,
find
yeah,
out.
yeah. For
But
$84,000,
come
I don't know,
on,
man.
man.
It's up
Come
in the
on,
air.
man.
But anyhow, with Enrique, I'm super pumped if this comes through. Like I said, all the people that are talking about it had never let us down in the past, and for $3 million, I think it is. It's a steal. It's a steal, in my opinion.
For sure. Let's read some comments here. Eddie G asked a question to Dave. It says, "What does Facundo make? Is there any additional amount we can give him? Obviously, not 20 million. That would be enough to keep him for another year as a starter versus fringe Arsenal role." I agree with him. I mean,
If for DPs, you could pay them whatever you
whatever they
want.
want.
Remember that Kaká was making $7 million.
Jeez.
In my opinion, there will never be a lion making that much money ever again. And the reason for the DP is that there's only a certain amount of that salary that hits your salary cap, so you can go after these type of signings. I believe last year when they released the list, he was in the 1.5 million range, if I'm not mistaken. And if you ask me, underpaid, because Atlanta was paying close to $3 million for Joseph Martinez, and there was other. We saw how Toronto went after the Italian squad, and they were getting six,
Oh
seven
my
million
god,
dollars.
that sucks.
Miami 5.5, 6.5 down there. I mean, so yeah, I think he's now getting paid. What I think he should.
Yeah, and then LAFC went for Bale, and then he retired. Like, I mean, it's I mean, I think John, the model of that old model, it's dying. I mean, it's showing signs of going down, and I think that's one of the reasons why it's so exciting that Orlando is trying to bring so many young. I mean, a lot of the signings are under 25 years old. So do you feel like that's the way that the league is going and Orlando's going?
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole league is definitely trending that way. And I think for a long time, MLS was looked as a European retirement league. And I think that really didn't necessarily hinder the growth of the league, but it put a label on the league that they didn't like, I think. And I don't know if there was a group decision between all the teams, but everybody seems to be moving towards this model of buy young, probably from South America, maybe Asia, maybe Europe, and develop them and send them off back to Europe. And Orlando City is leading the way in that charge. And in fact, we've done it. We've actually done it the other way and brought them through, with DK and with Kyle Laren through the draft system, which in MLS, that's the way they'd love it to go. But the new model seems to be buy them young out of South America, develop them, and then and sell them on. And we're at the forefront of that.
Yeah, and talking about Daryl Dike, some rapid fire news. Daryl Dike is being a phenom in West Brom. And I'm so happy for this because the U.S. national team needs a striker like Daryl Dike. I think that was to me the piece of the puzzle that was missing in this squad for 2020 2022 in Qatar. Certainly, Daryl Dike. I'm so happy that he's doing so well. I know he's not going to come to Orlando. It will be April Fools, but definitely, you know, he's doing fantastic, and maybe he does so well that he gets linked to a bigger English club in the Premier League, right? I mean, I would love to have him in Chelsea at some point. It'll be fantastic. But definitely kudos to him. Great player. Another thing we wanted to go ahead and bring up was, and we want to definitely congratulate is Mason Sedohar. He got married recently, so congratulations, Mason, with his lovely wife, Miss Tatiana. We just definitely wanted to congratulate Mason if he's watching. Thank you so much for everything, and I'm sure that you're going to be definitely happy wife, happy life, my friend. I'm just letting you know that's the best advice I can give you. Right, Paola? Happy wife, happy life.
Yes, and always say yes, dear, to her. That's it. That's the secret.
Oh man. All right. No, and before we go, let's read some more comments. Is Etromic, do we get any kickback if West Ham sells DK, or was it a lump sum deal? Do you know anything about that, Dave? I think we do. I think
Yeah, there's some residuals
yeah,
there.
we
Not
get
much
some,
money, not much money.
not a lot.
Uh, but that's up in the air when it comes to that. And I have to do real quick on Daryl Dike. Daryl Dike, he played a friendly at the Lamex Stadium in Stevenage, and all my friends were telling me that guy looked like a machine, and that was when he was recuperating. So if this guy catches fire this year, forget about it. Free advertising for Orlando City.
And another rapid fire, and this is obviously something that I need to tell everyone here. Hold on, let me find it. St. Pat's announced today, team from the Irish League, that Jake Mulroney has signed a deal with them. So Jake Mulroney is going back home. He's going to League of Ireland, and it's a 2-year deal. And we wish him the best. I think the time that he was in Orlando, he definitely make an immediate impact when he first came in, and obviously injuries and just some of the teams that we're playing against. I guess it kind of put him back in bench mode. When you get to that point, sometimes it's not as easy to get out of that mode. And then we got a young kid that failed in Brazil, but is killing it in the MLS, which is called Ivan Angulo. And so I think that was the nail in the coffin for Jake Mulroney, in my opinion, on that wing. So aviento. Hopefully he does so well over there in Europe. And I don't know if he's forever a Lion. I don't know, Jake. John, is it forever a Lion for you, or forever an Atlanta United?
I think maybe forgotten soon. Sorry, Jake. I mean, like the guy, he didn't have much time, did he? And I also, if you look at his history and his career, he's moved around a lot across England, around clubs, and that usually tells me it's someone who's maybe playing up and perhaps going back to Ireland is the right place for him, and he'll get a lot of minutes. And sometimes it's hard as a player to understand, like, okay, I need to take a step back to be able to play more. And I think this is probably the right move for him, but I don't think we'll remember much about Jake. Sorry, Jake.
And I'm gonna go ahead and ask this question to Dave right now. When I saw this, I was like, What is this crap?" And just gonna say, I don't know. I know there's a guy on Twitter that did this, and people know that my forte is not Twitter. My forte is Instagram. I'm saying it bluntly. You guys can definitely tell. Luis is more present in Instagram. It's just my favorite app. It's just the way it is. But this came from Twitter, and I saw it, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" So very bad little support. Colorado, Chicago, Red Bulls, below average. Real Salt Lake, Houston, Whitecaps, Revolution, United, Quakes, and Dallas. we're average supporters. We're average supporters. I think this is completely skewed. I think this is just so biased. I don't know who did this, but I
What
don't
was the
agree with that.
metric, first of all? Because
I need to find that tweet.
It was his opinion. This was from a Philadelphia Union fan.
There you go. I
He just
mean,
did it just because he thought it was fun. He tweeted it, put it out there. And anytime you talk about other people's teams, they're gonna come after you. It's just the way it is. And a lot of Orlando City fans and Philadelphia Union and Nashville reminded him
yeah.
that Inter Miami had the lowest attendance of all
And
MLS.
Toronto, man, Toronto's just Drake, in my opinion.
And then the other thing that Inter Miami, and they have to own up to this, they came to Orlando, they came to Nashville, they came to Philadelphia, attacked women and children, got arrested, and got banned. I'm sorry, but you know what? And I have said it here before. Atlanta United fans come to Exploria, and in the past, they have mopped the floor with us. After the end of the game, they go home. They're very gracious. They're very friendly. They're very nice. And I have said it before. Just because we're rooting for different teams doesn't mean we have to attack each other, that we have
Right.
to import the negativity of football into the United States. Let's bring the good stuff, not the bad. And so he acknowledged that he just did it, and that's it. That's what it is.
What are your thoughts about that, Paola?
I mean, I think never saw a game in the TV for Atlanta United this past season that they had to close the upper stadium because they had low attendance. Come on. So if you're gonna do something like this, do your research first and then tweet it. I don't know if this guy wanted to be a Mr. Popular in Twitter, go viral. I don't care, whatever. But it doesn't offend me. A little bit. Offend me a little bit because of but anyways, I just saw it, the tweet, and I'm like, let me keep scrolling down because it's biased for me. So
Okay, and before we close, let's close on a good note here. And I know if you're listening, I will say what the lineup would be. So just bear with us. I have on the screen a lineup for the first game of Orlando City. Hopefully, we're gonna kind of do a little prediction here. So obviously, Galese will be the number one. I mean, come on. And then the back line. Who would you say, John, will be the back line here for the first game of Orlando City?
I mean, for me, it's probably going to be Santos at left back. I think he was brought in to be the number one left back. And then I think it'll be Janssen and Carlos, as we just, they've got a great relationship and will continue to be, very, very strong center backs in the league. And then the right back is the big question mark, like we talked about before, whether they're going to bring somebody in. If it's me, and I really hope they do this, is give Mikey Holiday a real chance, because I think you guys have talked about it before, where he's got the most minutes for the U20 USA team or
Right.
U21 USA team. If that doesn't say I'm ready to be an MLS starting right back, I don't know what else you need to do to get a chance at being the starting right back. Obviously, he had some rough games last season, but I think you don't, your young players don't get better by sitting on the bench. You have to play them, right? So I think with the strength of the other three players, Mikey can have some games at the beginning of the season where he's developing a little bit more still. And then by the end of the season, he could be, one of the best right backs in the league. That's how fast somebody like this could develop if they were played. But it depends on where they sign somebody. But that would be my starting back four.
And let's look for the mid. Dave, who will you put on mid?
Well, I think with Urso's departure, the mid has to be Araujo. I'm trying to think because there's so many new faces. I'm
You got
sorry.
Cartagena, you got
Cartagena,
Felipe,
yeah. Cartagena. Who else?
Felipe.
I would put Felipe. To be honest with you, that I would choose that veteran, a workhorse, understands how to play MLS. That would be my choices. And going forward, Pereira. I would say Pereira
So you would
Uh,
put Pereira right here.
yeah, Pereira, Tonga, Gonzalez, Ojeda, and no, I'm sorry, Tonga Gonzalez and Faku, and then a striker, Kara, because it's who we know. So
Who would you put Paola right the three up top? Was it the
Uh,
same as Dave?
yeah, I would put
Because I mean, you're
if
talking
this
about. I mean, you have to
let me put Martin.
Ojeda.
Yeah,
Okay,
Ojeda. And then in the other Faku,
and then up top.
Kara. Let's put Kara there. Give him a free trial again this year.
Okay, so we're looking at Galese right at the up top as a keeper, a line of four in the back, Santos as your left back, Jansen and AC as your center back pair. Then you have Holiday as your right back, right as a six, soul six, Araujo as midfielder on the left side will be Felipe, on the right will be Pereira, and then on the wings, you have Martin Ojeda on the left and Facundo Torres on the right. And right up top, it will be Urgent Cara. So it'll be a 4-1, 4-1, 4-1 in a way. We're going in transition. So I mean, personally, I like this lineup. I would definitely go more conservative. So I would maybe have Araujo and Cartagena here because I need to see what he's going to do, if he's definitely going to start or not. Pereira, I will keep him at the 10 on a 4-2-3-1. And I would put, rather than Ojeda, I will definitely put Tonga Gonzalez on the left. I will put Facundo Torres as well here, right? And I will put Kara to see what he can do. Now, if I see the first 20 minutes that he's not scoring, I'll switch and put Enrique in because I mean, we're talking about friendlies, we're talking about preseason games too, right? So you need to see your options. So we need to see what our two strikers can do. Because obviously, Lynn is going to be going to more than likely USL, right? And then Maguire is going to be a third string striker, right? So that will be the lineup that we chose today. So Galese, Santos, Jensen, AC, Holiday, Araujo, Felipe, Pereira, Ojeda, Facundo, and Kara. So I want to let's read some comments real quick before we go. Joshua Tall, I like that lineup, to be honest, and it might be that unless we get another right back. Victor Jose Sanchez, he's not a lion. Okay. Joshua Tall, congratulations, Mason and your wife, Victor Jose Sanchez. And we answered this question already about the kickback. We sell DK. Victor Jose Sanchez can't wait to see Joseph Martinez with Inter Miami to play in Orlando. Joseph Martinez is an Inter Miami player now.
That's the rumor. They're going to sign him like a pato
Fantastic.
deal, like a 1 year deal, and
one
then
year deal.
for an option for the following.
So you're talking
So
about Campana and Joseph Martinez. If and
Joseph
if,
Martinez gonna be a bench player.
he's
but
gonna be a
if
bench
they, but
player. Yep.
if they go hot, I mean, you're talking about Joseph Martinez wants to be a starter for the Venezuelan national team. This kid's not going to lose his opportunity. There are 6 spots for the next World Cup and a playoff. So pretty much almost 7 spots.
Well, this
So
is what I know. Nobody wanted to pick him up. So the deal was Miami bought the remaining of his contract with Atlanta, which was 2.5 million a year.
Dang.
Brings him down here for a 1 year. The discrepancy was he wanted 2 years, and Miami was like, "Hey, baby, 1 year or nothing," and that's what he's getting with a year option. So he's gonna have to go out there. Me personally, I heard this from a good friend that has a podcast covering Inter Miami, and he flat out told me that the rumor is that they told him, you put up your antics, you're out of here. The flipping tables full of food, screaming, criticizing the club publicly, none of that. So he's on a short leash.
wow, That's incredible. That's incredible. But let's go ahead and definitely, there's gonna be a great derby for sure. I want to thank John for coming over. I think he's gonna be joining us a fourth chair, so we want to definitely bring him on board. I wanted to announce it today, so I think he's gonna add a lot of good comments and commentary to the team. And again, I want to encourage everyone. I know that there's gonna be. I have to talk to a potential person that's going to be taking care of our photos and things like that, a video as well soon. Brent, which I want to say hello to him if he's watching. And if you are looking to definitely cover Orlando City, this is your chance to do so. You can join us here, loud and proud, to cover OCSC, OCB, Orlando Pride. Writers, journalists, City Pride fans, send us a DM. Again, I want to go ahead and say we're looking to do a Orlando Pride show just for Orlando Pride. I know that they just re-signed Celia Jimenez, also Marta, and as well Jordan Listro. So definitely Orlando Pride is definitely going in the right direction with Seb Hines, and we want to definitely give the best info for the Pride fans. And so if you're looking to cover the Pride and talk about the Pride, and it's something that women's soccer is your passion, send us a DM, and then we'll definitely be interested to talk to you. So thank you so much to John, Paola. John, you wanna add anything else before we go?
No, just thank you guys for having me on. It's been great to talk with you all about Orlando City, and I'm excited for the preseason. It's a lot of changes, so that's good. I wanted to see a big preseason, lots of back office, moves, and I think we're seeing that. So that first preseason game, who knows what the formation is going to look like, what the team is going to look like. There's so many, as Paula said, so many unanswered questions, and we hopefully have some answers, but definitely not all of them.
Fantastic. Thank you, John. Paola, last comments.
Yes. So next week we're gonna start Tiro de Esquina season 2 podcast. So be paying attention to that same content, but in Spanish for our Spanish listeners. So, and like John said, I'm super pumped for this preseason. And that preseason game, that's gonna be a teaser, like a little hint of how is going to be the rest of the season. So thank you for listening to us, and don't forget to drop a subscribe too.
Yep. Thank you so much, guys, for being here at Loud and Proud Orlando. We'll see you guys next week. And vamos, Orlando. Take care.
Vamos,
Vamos,
Orlando.
Orlando.